Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Thank you for being here today with me. Good morning, Lisa. Just making sure that you guys can see me and hear me well. Hope you guys all had a good weekend. Thank you, Lisa, for confirming. Hi, guys. My name is Emilio Jose Garcia, and today I'm doing a special live because last Friday my second course on Insight Timer was published, and it's all about minimalism. And I remember that one of the first live sessions I did on Insight Timer, probably like 2 or 3 months ago when I got started, was about minimalism. Hi Christina, how are you? And I remember that that was the most popular session by far. It was even featured on Insight Timer, and I remember I had so many technical problems that day, so I pretty much wasted half an hour trying to sort them out. So I thought that it was a great opportunity for me to do another live about the same topic. Hi Carol, hi BD, hi Christine, and just to celebrate my new course and to give you guys those steps that you can follow to embrace minimalism in your own life, right? And I want to shine the light on all the different areas for you to become aware of and for you to have some techniques and some steps to follow. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I am normally live on Tuesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. So today is like a special occasion. Thank you for being here. Where are you guys connecting from? I'm connecting from Waterloo in Ontario, Canada. SC. I guess that's South Carolina, maybe? Am I right, Christine? Amazing. I've never been there, but it sounds very nice. Osaka, Japan. Wow. Welcome. Sweden. You know that my wife has a lot of family in Sweden, and we were visiting there in 2012 for like a month. Beautiful country. I am originally from Barcelona, Spain, so it was easy for us to travel to Sweden when we were there. California. I was in San Francisco. Beautiful city. I loved it. So nice. So guys, why are you here today? I would like to know before I get started. Why are you here today? I always like to read the reasons so that I make sure I cover them. Are you wanting to learn something? Are you just curious? Have you gotten started with minimalism and you just want more support or more ideas? Are you completely new to the idea of minimalism and you have no idea how to get started, but you are excited about it? Just share in the comments. I'm curious to know the reasons why you are here today. Trying to be a minimalist now. Thank you, Em. You help me organize my closet. I practice minimalism, need more ideas. Amazing, Christine. I'm glad that you were able to organize your closet. And M, trying to be a minimalist, what does that mean to you? What does minimalism mean to you guys? I just want to know what minimalism means to you. And there is not a right or wrong answer here, okay? So share whatever comes to mind. Me too, Christine. Curious, would love to simplify my life. Things, so physical things. I keep too many things that I think burdens me. Attempting to downsize. Simplicity. To understand what's important for me. Beautiful. Clear space. Collect moments, not things. No extra stuff. That's amazing. So guys, once you get that, how are you going to feel? And how is your life going to be better? How? Only what I need. Creative. So you will be able to be creative. Amazing. What else? What are you going to be able to do? Less stress. Very cool. Less stress, Em. Who doesn't want less stress, guys? Open up my mind. And Christine, amazing. Open up your mind to what? Lighter, free, less anxious. To possibility, I guess. That's beautiful. Yes. And this is the beauty of this. I have heard a clear space allows peace and clearer mind. Absolutely, Elle. Mental health is so connected with physical spaces and how you feel. cleaner personal environment. Hi everyone, hi Sammy. Have more spaciousness and timelessness. Yeah, guys, it's so important to understand the connection between the mental health, how we feel, right? How we interact with our physical things, right? So physical things is one of the first things that comes to mind when we talk about minimalism. Overwhelmed by too much everything. But it's not only about stuff. So you can apply minimalism to other areas of your life, like money and finances, like time management, meal planning, relationships, very important, relationships and how you feel with interactions that you have with people. All those things are kind of cultivating who you are. They are kind of affecting you in some way. You have to manage them. You have to create something that makes you feel well. And when you are not intentional and you are not creating something that makes you feel well, or you are not accepting what's there because you cannot change it, that's when you start feeling like stressed. That's when you start feeling anxious, overwhelmed, lack of clarity. You don't know what to do and why. So that's why I'm trying to really understand your reasons. Have thousands of emails. Even my 16-year-old son now is stressed in disorganized houses. He loves our home. They are watching. Yeah, Christine, I always tell parents that, and I'm a parent myself. I have a 2.5-year-old daughter. They are going to do what they see, what you show them, not what you tell them, what you show them. Yeah. So if you cannot show them organization, if you cannot show them maintenance of a space, if you cannot show them decision making about things, sharing, letting go of the things that they no longer need, stuff like that, they will not be able to learn it, right? They will not be able to do it because you are not doing it for them. Because this is how kids learn, and this is something I read in a book, and it really opened my eyes with my daughter, because they say the first thing, so when you are trying then to learn something, the first time you have to show them, okay? You have to do it yourself, and they will watch, okay? The second time you do it with them, okay? You do it with them. The third time they do it and you watch and support them, okay? 3 times. And the fourth time they do it alone and you are there supporting them. And then the 5th time, hopefully they are able to do it themselves. So what's that process? What's how that unfolds? It's not just a one time, you tell them how to do it and they will do it. No, they have to see the process. You have to show them. So absolutely, I'm with you, Christine. You have to show them first. You have to do it with them. You have to let them do it and fail a few times. And sometimes I struggle with that, especially with cleanliness. I want her to be perfect from day one, and sometimes it doesn't happen that way. There is a journey that needs to happen. And then we are facing all the emotions that we have, all the triggers that we have. It's so interesting to watch and sometimes so frustrating. But yeah, so I'm really happy about everything that you guys are sharing, because in the course, the first thing that I cover is defining what minimalism is, right? And minimalism is not... How would you guys define minimalism? If you have to tell someone what minimalism is in one sentence, what would you tell them? I'm just so curious to read it. What would you say? I'm new, and I ask you, hey, what is minimalism? Like, what would you tell me? Again, there is not right or wrong answer here. No excess. Okay, so minimalism is no excess. Amazing. What else? What else comes to mind, guys? Because this is so important to really understand and to really ground yourself and embracing simplicity. Amazing, Christine. Whatever that means to the person, because simplicity is subjective, right? What simplicity means to me, it's going to be very different than what simplicity means to you. And this is the beauty of minimalism, that simplicity, excess is gonna mean something different for everybody. Someone who loves books and they have 500 books, for them that's not excess because they love books. That's their life. For me, that may be excess because I'm happy to go to the library and borrow them. I have 1,000 tools that maybe you will come and say, oh my God, that's excess. That's too many tools. I don't need that many. I love tools and I use them. And sometimes I hoard some of them just in case. See, freedom, living more efficiently, amazing. Loving what's enough. I guess knowing what's enough. Only have what you like and enjoy. Beautiful. So you guys have very clear definitions and they are all okay. They are all correct. Surrender to the essential. Blanquita. Amazing. Knowing. Sorry. Yeah, that's fine. Knowing. I figured it out. So amazing. So the first lesson covers that. Really defining what minimalism is and really embracing that your life, it's gonna be flowing, right? So you're gonna have different stages of life. You're gonna be maybe young with your parents, and then you're gonna go to university, school, or move out of your parents' home or your family home, and then you are gonna have a partner that maybe moves in with you, and then you have to manage all that, the physical aspect and also the relationships, the dynamics, sharing spaces, blah, blah, blah. And then maybe you have kids, that's another stage of your life. And then maybe kids grow up and they leave, and then you become an empty nester, and then you don't need as much space, so you downsize. So life is going to evolve and your life situation is going to change constantly. Okay, keeping the space and light in my apartment. Purpose, amazing purpose. I'm gonna go back to the purpose after this, but you just have to understand how to embrace minimalism, what minimalism means to you, and the boundaries that you have about what's excess and what's not. They are going to change accordingly to your lifestyle. Good morning, Maggie. Thank you for being here. So it's very important to don't be strict. You don't have to have a recipe to follow, because that recipe is going to change with your life. Essentials, Claire, amazing. Essentials can mean something different for everybody. In our own situation, for example, essentials, what's essential now, it will not be essential in a few months, most likely. It will change because we may change how we live, we may change the hobbies that we do, we may change how we use the space. So all those things will change. And minimalism, the definition of minimalism will change too. So at the end of the day, what's important is to become aware, and that's what I covered on the second day of the course. Okay, if you are curious, the course is called How to Embrace Minimalism in Your Life, and you can find it under my profile. Okay, it's a 14-day course. So the second day of the course, it's about becoming aware, and I do a really good practice. It's like a meditation practice where I guide you through the different areas of your life so that you can shine the light and you can ground yourself with yourself. Ground with what essential means to you. Ground yourself with what excess means to you. Really find that clarity that is going to help you take action, because you cannot take action unless you know what action you are taking. Okay, fabulous. Didn't know that you had a course. Excited to do that. Claire, this live session today is a special one. I normally don't come live on Mondays, but because my course was published on Friday, last Friday, I wanted to do this session because I know it's a very demanding topic. It's a very interesting topic for so many of you. And I just wanted to give you a rundown of the main takeaways so that you can get started. And then for those of you who are inspired to take it deeper, I will invite you to come to the course. Join the course. If you are a member of Inside Timer, you don't have to pay extra, it's just free. And if you don't have, it's only $20. And then you get 14 days lifetime access to the course, and then you get a practice. Every lesson is between 10 and 15 minutes. And then we dive deeper into the topic, and then I do a practice. Because guys, we don't make change by just intellectually understanding. We make change by embracing, by connecting with the emotions, by really allowing ourselves the time and space to really manage with all the emotions, all the triggers, all the beliefs that we have, all the habits, all the familiarity, all that resistance that we are facing. Because resistance is, if you have done a habit, a routine for like 5, 10, 20 years, and you are trying to change that to be more intentional, to apply minimalism into your life, you are going to face what we call resistance. And the resistance is your brain is familiar with that habit. Your brain has been repeating that over and over and over. So now you are stepping into the unknown. You are stepping into the uncertainty of something new that you don't know what's gonna happen after. So our brains normally tend to keep us safe. And the way for the brain to keep us safe is by don't letting us step into the unknown. And when you're trying to make change, you have to step into the unknown and you have to form new habits and routines. So that's why it's so important to become aware, because when you become aware, then you will decide what you want to do in your life. And that's what I covered on day 3. On day 3, you are going to declare your intentions. Thank you, Christine. I hope to see you inside the course. And for all of you who sign up for the course, please engage in the course classroom. Why? A few things. First, because when you engage in the course classroom, you are being accountable to yourself. That's first. Second, I can support you and everybody else in the course can support you. And you are inspiring people to participate too. So we form a container of energy. We form a community that we all support each other. Third, you can ask any questions you want and I will record an audio answering to your specific question, okay? And fourth, you are supporting my work, because Inside Timer really thrives with engagement and they really reward me with engagement, okay? So there are so many wins, but the main thing is that you stay accountable to yourself, you share, you declare what you are planning on doing, and then we can keep you accountable and excited, okay? It's very difficult to decide which things should go. That's something that I covered on day 7 of the course, and I'm gonna get to that, okay? About the physical things. But on day 3, so day 1 is about the definition of minimalism, okay? Day 2 is about becoming aware of your specific situation. It's a guided meditation to help you really connect and shine the light on every area of your life and really let the emotions, the triggers, the limiting beliefs, anything that is inside you that is stopping you from taking action, it's stopping you from finding that freedom that you are seeking for, finding the clarity of what to let go and what to keep. That's gonna all surface in that session, okay? On day 3, you are declaring your intentions. And this is one of the most important days, because by you declaring your intentions after the awareness of day 2, you are going to be specific. You are going to write things down. You are going to have a piece of paper that I call a creation. And a creation looks like this. It could be as simple as this, okay? It's basically writing down the main areas of your life that you want to work on, and make sure that you write down the things that you want to change, things that you want to eliminate, things that you want to integrate, things that you want to tweak, whatever you need to do in every area, that you will have the answers, and you will find the answers through day 2, that awareness, and then every day after, we're going to dive deeper into a specific area. And you're gonna find more clarity. I'm gonna share the how-to step-by-steps that you can follow. So basically, you need a starting point, and this is your starting point. This is one example of a very simple one, okay? This is another example of a regular piece of paper, and I use a little bit of color, and as you see, I use both sides of the paper. And in here, I have spiritual, I have recreational and fun, I have financial and material, I have health and fitness, family and relationships, career and business, and personal development. Those were the categories back in 2015 that I had in my creation. And then when I reflect, this is also a reflection piece, because as you notice here, I have an X, or I have a done. So every few weeks, every few months, whenever you feel like it, you will come back to the creation that you have, and you're gonna reflect about it, and you're gonna see, did I do this? Didn't I do this? And if I didn't, why? Is it still relevant? Is this still important to me? And why is it important? Do I wanna take action on it? So it's this process that needs to happen, because change, as you guys know, is not going to happen like this, okay? Change is gonna be you're gonna make some progress, and then you're gonna drop the ball, and then you're gonna make some more progress, and then you're gonna drop the ball. It's like a roller coaster, and that's the way it is. You cannot just go like this, because you're gonna be facing lots of emotions, lots of triggers, you're gonna be facing routines that you have been following that maybe are not serving you anymore. Another example of creation is this one, for example. This one, again, I have the different areas of my life, and then in this one, I took it to the next level by having a before and after of how I want my life to be like, right? And as you notice in here, this is what came up for me. I was feeling that my life was heavy, that I was carrying a lot of weight in my back and it was painful, and I was like going like this uphill and it didn't feel good. So when I reflected about how do I want my life to look like, and then this is me juggling everything, right? In perfectly synchronicity, everything is flowing really well, everything is in the air at the right time, at the right pace, because it's flowing. And that's what I want my life to be like majority of the times. It's not doable all the time, of course, because there are ups and downs, but you are aiming for that. You are trying to really understand what you want and why. So that's the exercise that you will do on day 3, okay? And then on day 4, we are gonna be covering, and this is the step-by-step that you guys can follow even if you don't take the course, okay? So understanding what minimalism is, really becoming aware of your situation, declaring your intentions. How many people declare their intentions? In the form of writing them down in a piece of paper, in the form of having them somewhere that they can reflect on. How many of you do that? I would like to know, like, how many people write down goals that you have, things that you want to work on? I do that. Baggy, are you willing to share how you do it? And Lauren, doing it now, haha. It's never too late to get started, guys. Some people do it in the form of a to-do list. Some people do it in the form of journaling every day. Some people do it, I call it a vision journal. Amazing. So this is, for example, the journal. I have a journal. So this is my journal. I don't use it every day right now. Sometimes I use it every day, sometimes I don't. Right now, I'm not using this every single day, but I want to show you a few things. So when I open my journal, the first thing that I see is this, right? So I see a nice photo of my family so that I can feel inspired and I can really ground myself on how grateful I am for having such a beautiful family and having been healthy, and try to be grateful about things every day. Try to really focus on the positives of my life, right? Then I have what I call my self-care list, that this is something that you will learn in a day on this course too. But basically this is a very elaborated to-do list, okay? But it can be as simple as a few bullet points. For example, my gratitude list. Amazing, Maggie, thank you for sharing. And then I have what I call a life vision, that this is something that you can also do. You can draw something that is inspiring to you. And I drew something, I don't have a date, but this was when my daughter was like 3 or 4 months old. I went to a coffee place with her and this came out. I honestly wasn't planning on specifically drawing this, but this makes sense to me. This is a drawing that represents my life, how I want my life to look like. Forgiveness list. I love that, Maggie. That's such a good thing. We have to forgive, and forgiving sometimes can be very, very tricky. Every 3 months, goals and general focus. Amazing, Lauren. Vision journal. I have a journal. Yeah, so there are so many different ways of doing this, guys. Sometimes I do my creation in my journal too. I think my cat wants to come in. So this is my creation in my journal, right? So there is not a right or wrong way of doing this. You can do this however feels good to you. And if you don't know, please allow yourself time to test different ideas. Test a piece of paper. Test using your journal. Test having a vision board. Test having post-its to remind you of things that are important. Whatever you need, just test things until something clicks and something feels good to you. Forgiveness list, self-forgiveness I'm working on. Amazing. So some of you guys are already doing deep work. Some of you guys are taking the time to really write things down. And that's what this practice is all about. Like when you are embracing minimalism in your life, this is not only about decluttering your physical things and that's it. This is way, way deeper than that. And all the things that you guys are talking about, thank you so much, Kitty, for your donation. Like forgiveness, gratitude, reflection, creativity, all those things need to happen, hopefully on a weekly basis. Even if it's 1 hour a week that you allow yourself, I call it a date with yourself. A date where you go with yourself somewhere, ideally somewhere outside of your day-to-day routine, or just somewhere in your home where you feel well. and then you just sit with yourself and you just do whatever you feel you have to do. For some people it's meditation, for some people it's journaling, for some people it's visualizing how their life could look like. Okay, so I'm just not sure. I like the word weapon. Can you help me with that word? Weapon? Sorry, what's weapon? Who said weapon? Did I say weapon? Oh, okay, this is why, okay, sorry, Maggie. Forgiveness liberates the soul, it removes fear. That is why it is such a powerful weapon. I will say this is why it is such a powerful tool, such a powerful reflection, such a powerful embracement. You can find, and this is another thing, guys, words have a huge power on you, right? And Maggie, you say, I'm not sure I like the word weapon. Amazing. So you identify something that doesn't feel good to you. So I will invite you, when you are declaring your intentions, I will invite you to come up with a vision, with a sentence that really empowers you, that really, when you read it, you feel like, yes, I want that. And you can do that with every area that you are trying to change. For example, in your work, if you are trying to, this is one that I had before. I am the master of marketing. I make sure that people who need my services find me easily. Something like that. So I brought something that when I read it, it's like, yeah, I want to have that. I want to have that. So try to come up with a sentence that really shares what you want to create in your life, and that when you read it, it's like an affirmation. You read it and it feels so good to you that you feel inspired and you feel motivated. Okay? So once you have that starting point, that creation, that it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? For those of you who are looking at me thinking like, this is way too much for me, guys, grab a piece of paper, just do a grounding exercise with yourself for like a minute, and whatever is triggering you the most, whatever is showing up for you right now, the first thing that comes up to mind that is bothering you, reflect about it. And then say, what can I do with this thing to make it better? What can I change? What can I eliminate? What is something very little that I can do and get a quick win in this specific area that is bothering me right now? And then just write one thing, and then reflect on that thing. And then when you do that thing, I promise you that you're gonna feel inspired to write 2 things. And then if you can do them, then you're gonna feel like, I'm making progress. So you're gonna write 3 things. And then eventually you are building the muscle. So don't try to do maybe all your life at once like I did, because this is a process that I've done for years. Sometimes it's very difficult to do this process. It is. So start really small. Choose something that you know you can accomplish, and choose something that you know you can achieve so that you can get a quick win, okay? Liberates the soul. Wow, thanks, Maggie. I love that. Liberates the soul. I like the reflection. Love that. I choose a sacred word and write it in my planner for each week. Peace, grace keeps me focused on that goal. Amazing. You are amazing, Emilio. Thank you, Maggie. I'm trying to help you out here. Guys, feel free to share whatever words are inspiring to you, because honestly, sometimes I read whatever you write and it's so beautiful that really makes me like, oh, I want to use that next time I do a creation for myself. So again, you know what you want, you know what you need, okay? You know that. I'm not gonna tell you, no one is gonna tell you. You already know that. You just have to make sure that you connect with that you allow yourself time and space to connect with it. And how do you do that? By becoming aware and by starting to declare your intentions. When you declare your intentions, you have to own them. That's another thing. This is what you want, guys. And I want you to say, I want this. Right now, I want this. And you have to go for it. You have to go for it. Let go of perfectionism. Let go of, I don't know how to do it. I don't care. You have to do it. When you declare it and you own it, the way on how to make it happen, it will show up, guys. If you are patient, open-minded, and you are actually doing your best, it will show up for you. You will find a way to get there. But the other day in one of my lives, I gave an example of a sailing boat. Imagine that you are on a sailing boat, okay? And then you are trying to sail it to a specific island. So that's your outcome. I want to go to that island. there. It's like 100 miles away and it's in southwest direction. I know what it is, okay? But then what happens when the boat is on the ocean and then wind comes? The boat starts going in the wrong direction. But do you think the person in the boat is gonna just get distracted and just go somewhere else? No, they're gonna say, okay, I'm in the middle of a storm. I have to manage this. I have to make sure that I don't sink. And then when the storm is gone, what do you think they do? They put the compass back. Okay, now I can go back to my island. So instead of this is the island, this is the sailboat, instead of doing this, they found themselves doing this, and then they now have to do this. So the direction they are taking is completely different, but they are aiming for the same island. And this is your life. Things will happen. And instead of you being lost in the details on the how to, get grounded on the outcome. Get grounded on where do I want to go? How do I want to feel? What is it? What is the final outcome? Because getting there are 1,000 ways of getting there. Guys, 1,000 ways. Like if I want to lose weight, for example, let's say I say, Emilio, I want to lose 5 pounds. I can play squash more. I can go for walks after eating food. I can go biking. I could do exercise at home. I could start a diet. I could change what I eat. I could do 1,000 things, right? So it doesn't matter which one I choose. My outcome is I want to lose 5 pounds. That's my outcome. Why? Because when I lose 5 pounds, I will be able to X, I will be able to feel that way, whatever. That's just one example. So I want you to think about the same idea. Focus on what you want and don't get lost in the how to yet, because the how to can change. And you just have to make sure that you don't lose track of where you want to go. And this is when the creations, this is when journaling, this is when reflecting is gonna help you remind yourself of what you want and the why. Okay? So on day 4, I dive into the mind. This is all about self-care. This is about helping you create your own self-care list. That is the thing that I showed you before. Because if you don't practice self-care, guys, if you don't feel well with yourself, if you don't have the right mindset, let me tell you that you will not make any progress in anything in life, because you're gonna be bothered by stress, bothered by anxiety, bothered by not being in the present moment. And the only time that you can take action, when is it? Now. Not in the past, not in the future. Like if you are thinking about the past and you are depressed about what happened and the past is kind of draining you from energy, you are not taking action now. And if you are anxious about what's gonna happen, what if that happened, you are focusing on the future that doesn't exist yet. And the future is a result of what you do now. So you have to ground yourself into the now. And that's why mindfulness is so important. And self-care can be anything that you want. If you look at my self-care list, I have all sorts of activities. It's not just meditation, it's not breathing, it's not just mindfulness. It's stuff that is playful for me. It's rollerblading. It's biking with my daughter Eva. It's juggling my balls. It's having a bath. It's like reading something that inspires me, like listening to something that excites me. Playing a game with my wife. We almost play every day a game, like some sort of card game or board game, because it really helps us make the day better. It's communication. It's so many things, right? So you have to find what are the things that make you feel well. Okay? And that's what you're going to learn on day 4. Are you guys still with me? I don't see any comments. Are you still listening there? I hope I'm not talking just to myself. Okay, I don't see anything, so I hope that you guys are still there. But yeah, so the self-care is so important, and you have to create your own self-care practice. You have to become aware of what self-care means to you. Oh no. Oh gosh. Oh. Okay. Sorry guys, I think I lost you for a second there. Can you see me now? You are freezing quite a bit. Yeah, I know. I was talking to myself for a while. I didn't notice. Okay, sorry. So what was the last thing that you guys heard from me? Was I talking about self-care? You're back, yeah. Sorry guys about that. Okay, so I was just talking about how important self-care is, right? And I was just talking about on day 4, the first area of life that I covered in the course, and this is very intentional because I was thinking like, what is the journey that majority of the people take successfully and why? And once you become aware of what minimalism is, once you do this self-awareness practice that I show you how to do, and we dive deeper on day 2 of the course, and once you write your intentions to have a starting point, the first thing that I always recommend you is to really work on your mind and your self-care, because your mind is your power center. Your mind is, if you guys are not in the right mindset, you will not be able to do anything else, because you're going to be anxious, you're going to be stressed, you're going to be thinking about what happened in the past and maybe with depression, or you're going to be anxious about what's going to happen in the future and putting too much energy in there that the future still doesn't exist. So the only thing that you have control over is the present moment, the right now. Okay? So right now you have the option to do something. So I'm not Aries, but that seems to describe me. Okay, I think we are all, doesn't matter what horoscope you are, when we talk about time, like I think this is for all of us, right? We live in the now. The only thing we have access to is the now. So right now I'm choosing what I'm doing, and whatever I do now is going to have an effect in whatever happens in the future, right? So that's why mindfulness, meditation, self-care, any exercise, any activity that makes you feel well, it's going to help you nurture your mindset, nurture your self-care, nurture your mental health. Because if you are suffering with mental health issues, and just raise your hands or say yes if you agree with this. When you don't feel well, when you are not feeling well mentally speaking, how much energy, how much motivation, how much focus do you have for other things? Nothing. You just can't, because you are too drained, you are too distracted, you are too lost, right? So that's why self-care is the first thing that we need to do, especially for those of you feeling overwhelmed, for those of you feeling like a failure, feeling that I cannot do this, those of you facing all those things, and myself facing things that sometimes I have no idea how to overcome. The only thing that we can do, guys, is come back to self-care, come back to loving ourselves, accepting ourselves, doing something that helps us come to the present moment now. For me, for example, an activity that I do a lot is juggling, okay? Energy levels plummet when feeling low and overwhelmed. That's why it's good, Claire, that you are aware of it. And that's the first thing. I was responding to someone else about being Aries. That's okay. Sometimes I lose track of the chat. It goes so fast. So it's so important, right? So you are becoming aware of like, wow, I'm feeling overwhelmed now. Whoa. So what's happening? Okay, it's time for self-care. I have to do something to manage my mental health right now, because I'm noticing I'm going to the overwhelmed side, I'm going to the anxious side. I'm noticing signs that I recognize that if I don't do anything right now, they're gonna escalate to a point that it made me go to a place that I don't wanna go there anymore. So that's why when you are noticing those things, and you can only notice them when you are aware of them, that's when you can say, okay, I need to step up, I need to do something else. In my case, sometimes I go and juggle my balls. Why? Because when I juggle my balls, first, I stand up from my desk. I'm moving. Second, I normally breathe more. Third, balls are playful. When I play with my balls, it's just playfulness. I just feel like happy. Okay. And then juggling my balls makes me be in the present moment, because I have to pay so much attention at what I'm doing that I automatically forget of everything else. And I come to the present moment right away. So that's an activity that really works for me. For some other people, it's going for a walk. For some other people, it's just listening to a specific song, doing a specific practice, maybe meditation, maybe playing your singing bowl, and just focusing on the noise of that really calms me down. So doesn't matter what you do, guys. This is your self-care. And this is why I invite you on day 4 to really create your own self-care list. And that self-care list can be created by activity type. Sometimes you need something energetic. Sometimes you need something relaxing. Sometimes you need something that involves relationship and social time. So you need to know your circadian rhythm, they call it. Every 24 hours, when it repeats itself, we all have specific patterns. When we sleep, when we feel high energy, low energy, most creative time, less creative time. So even a brief break is helpful. I feel like I shouldn't stop, but it makes the next session more efficient. Absolutely. Your next life needs to be a juggling session. I can do that. I'm almost doing 5 balls now, guys. So self-care. Once you have your mental health in order, and once you have tools and awareness about what's going on in your head, hopefully you're gonna find methods, steps, activities to help you get in the right mindset, to help you stay motivated, to help you stay accountable to yourself, to help you remind yourself of the things that you want to do and why. And once you are there, tackling everything else in life becomes easier. Okay? True into our circadian rhythms. Then I walk my dogs when I need to escape chaos at home. Amazing. So that's an activity that you have identified, Claire, that works for you. So that's one self-care activity that you have. And even if you don't have a written list, you already know that that's one activity. But I will encourage you, invite you guys, challenge you to create your own self-care list and come up with at least 10 things. 10 things that you can do anywhere you are, that when you do them, you become calmer, and then you can get in that mindset. I chant Om. You know, guys, what I do when I'm not feeling like motivated for a live session or a video, and I need energy and I just can't, I just do this. I do this for a minute, and I can tell you that after that I'm like, wow, so energized. So that's an activity that I do with the breathing. And I think I saw that from Tony Robbins, most likely in one of his videos. And I kind of thought like, I don't know. I did it and it's like, it works. So just find something, test it. Allow yourself the playfulness of testing it just for the sake of testing it. No expectations, guys. And if it works, keep it in your toolbox. And if it doesn't, let it go and try something different. Okay? So whatever, some people dance, some people jump. My wife and I, when we are having an argument, it's escalating to the point that we are kind of like losing ourselves, we stand up, we hold both hands, and we jump together. We start jumping like this every single time. After like 5 to 10 seconds of us jumping, we are both laughing. So we sit down again, and then all of a sudden the energy, guys, has changed. So I don't know, there are so many ways of doing this. Okay, balloon breath, similar but a bit longer breath. Yeah, breath work is so important, and breathing techniques should be I share some with you in the course, and I also have a self-care course if you want to dive into the self-care a lot. It's called Improving Your Mental Health with Self-Care. So I only have 2 courses on Inside Timer. I got started 3 or 4 months ago, so I'm very happy about it. But yeah, so you have those 2 courses to choose from. One is just self-care, 10 days, and the other one is 14 days for minimalism. So once you have your mind in the right mindset and you have strategies to like cope with your mental health, so curious and eager to start your courses. Claire, please do, and make sure that you share in the course classroom. I would love to read how it goes, right? So the next one is day 5 is body. Okay, so you have your mindset, your mental health is kind of in the present moment. You have strategies to cope when you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, anxious. Now it's time to nurture your body, because that's the next step. If you are hungry, if you are tired, if you don't have energy, physically speaking, it's so difficult to move through the day. It's so difficult to do things, right? And to feel well. So physical health and emotional and mental health, those are the 2 main pillars that everything else will lay on those 2. Honestly, that's the truth. Like if you are not feeling well, physically speaking and mentally speaking, everything else in life, it doesn't matter because you are not feeling well. So once you feel well with your body, and this is, I talk about the meal planning aspect, what we eat, how much water we drink, how much we exercise, how much the habits that we have around everything that we do to nurture our body. So all those things, whatever you need to do to make your body feel better, embracing any limitations you may have, guys. If any of you are facing sickness, facing any kind of physical limitation, you have to embrace that with love. You have to work through that or accept it if it's chronic. There are so many things you need to do with your body, right, to feel well. But once you have your mind and your body, then I dive into the next step that I think is the most important after, and that's time. Managing your time, guys. Because if you have the right mindset, you have energy in your body, but your time management, it's not good, and you are just wasting time everywhere, and you don't have a clear system to follow, that's when you start feeling overwhelmed. That's when you want to make change, but you don't know how to, because you don't have the time management aspect of it. So on day 6, I dive into the time management, okay? And we do what I call creating your ideal week. And that's an exercise that many of you are going to resist. I myself resisted it for so long. It took me weeks to do it. My wife was surprised. What are you doing? You teach these things. You should be able to do this. And I was like, I don't want to do it. It's so hard. I don't want to limit myself. I don't want to create something that I don't like. So many beliefs, so many limiting beliefs were coming up for me, honestly, and they will come up for you. But I can tell you that once you master your time, once you have tools to become aware of where your time is going, and then create something that you enjoy most, including the self-care activities that make you feel well, and including the things that you brought on your creation, the things that you want to integrate in your life. And once I invite you to fit all that in a week, that's the secret of this, guys. Time management, one of the most important techniques about time management is to be what? What do you think, guys, is the most important thing about time management? You have to be, I just want to read what you guys say. What is the most important thing about time management? To be aware, word to the wise, as in potential resistance, much appreciated, awake. There is one thing, present, focus, yeah, accountable. But there is one thing. It doesn't matter how much you are of all of this. You have to plan. Okay, plan is kind of close. Peace, yeah, peace is good. I will say the most important time management technique, guys, is to be realistic. Okay? Because if you are not realistic, you are going to try 1,000 time management techniques, but you are not going to be realistic. It's not going to be doable. And you trying to put everything in your week, it's going to force you to be realistic. Because every time I work with someone about time management, I invite them to make a list of the things they want to do, all the projects they want to accomplish. And what do you think happens? We humans believe that we are optimistic. We can do so many things in very little amount of time. And that's not true. So when they are forced to put a timeline on everything they want to do, and then they have to fit that in the week, that's when they become aware of it doesn't fit. Because that's the thing, I'm giving you a limitation. So you have 24 hours a day. So how much do you sleep? And people say, I don't know, 7 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. Okay, color it in. Okay, do you work? Yeah, 9 to 5, whatever, color it in. Okay, what else do you do? I do laundry, I do grocery shopping on Friday nights, I do whatever, color it in. Okay, how much white space do you have? And then they realize, wow, like I don't have a lot of white space and I have like a million things I want to fit in there. So it doesn't work. So when that happens, then you become, what do you become? When you have 1,000 things that you want to do, but you can only fit 5, what happens? What do you become? Or what do you have to become to be able to, yeah, you are overwhelmed, you are stressed, that's the negative. But when you find the way realistic, okay, so you become realistic, and then when you become realistic, what do you do? If you have 100 things you want to do, but you can only fit 5, you become efficient, you become clear, you prioritize, and then eliminate. And I will say you prioritize, and you don't have to eliminate, but you have to put on hold. Okay, maybe elimination is not a word that people like because they don't want to eliminate something they want to do, but maybe that something is not important this week, it's not important next week. Maybe they can find the time in 3 weeks from now. But you prioritize, what am I gonna be working this week about? What is the most important thing that I need to do this week? And that's your main thing to do. And everything else doesn't matter, that's your main thing to do, okay? So you're going to be maintaining the basics of your life. So you're gonna be going to work, you're gonna be sleeping, you're gonna be doing some self-care to manage your mental health, you're gonna be doing some exercise to manage your body, eating well, drinking water, blah, blah, blah. But then the free time, you're gonna decide how you use it. So you're gonna make a list of everything that's on your creation, and then you're gonna create your ideal week, and then you're gonna face, wow, I cannot do everything I want, and that's a good process, because that's a part of the journey that you are facing. And then when you face that, you become focused, you prioritize, and then your energy goes from being like this to being like this. You just... And then what happens, guys, when your energy is focused on, instead of having the energy like this, you focus your energy here. What happens when you can put your energy here? How much can you get done when you are here versus being here? How much? Can you do way more or way less? Can you be more focused or less focused? Can you be more content with yourself or less content with yourself? Can you be more intentional or less intentional? Can you be more confident to say no to other things or less confident? Can you be able to communicate more clearly when you say no to people, why you are saying no? Exactly, you actually complete the task. And then when we decide about the task, then the time management aspect applies to that specific task. And then everything about stop multitasking, break the goal into smaller pieces. There are so many time management rules that you can then implement into that. But guys, it doesn't make sense to implement time management to do things that are not important to you. So that's why so many people are focusing on the time management, on the how-to, on the steps to do time management, but they don't know what island they are aiming for. Remember, the sailboat is here, the island is here. If you are trying to be very, very efficient sailing, but you don't know where you are going, like, where are you going? But when you know where you are going, okay, you're gonna be able to set, doesn't matter how many storms, wind changes, you are gonna be able to always correct until you get to the island. And that's what I want you to do in your life. I want you to have your specific goal. I want you to then be specific and prioritize what's important this week and next week. And then you can feel confident, you can feel motivated, you can feel energized, you can say no to other things, you can set boundaries to protect that time. That's when the time management starts happening, okay? So that's day 6, guys. Okay, on day 7, we talk about physical things, your home. Why? Because once you have your mind in the right place, your body is energy, you are flowing, you are feeling well, as good as you can if you have any limitations, okay? And then you have strategy for time management. Now you can start planning other things in life. Okay, I'm gonna tackle my home. How? Okay, I know I have 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week, 10 hours a week. I know I have to do my self-care. I know I'm able to do 3 hours in a row. I know I cannot do more than 1 hour in a row. So you start knowing yourself and you start knowing your limitations and you start respecting who you are and how you function. And then you are promoting the way you function by doing self-care, by promoting your body, promoting your mind, and having a clear time management strategy. So then you start decluttering your home, because when you are trying to do things in life, if you don't have the right space, a space that facilitates the activities that you want to do, a space that is inviting, functional, not overwhelming, you will not be able to do what you want to do, because you're gonna always be facing clutter, facing decisions you have to make, things you have to finish. So that's why the physical space is then the next thing I think it's important. I was late. Are these all what I'm telling you in your courses too? Hannah, this is a special live session that I'm doing because I have a brand new course about minimalism that was published on Friday. So yeah, there is a full course that dives into every day that I'm talking about. It's called How to Embrace Minimalism in Your Life, okay? And I also have a self-care course if you are interested in diving deeper into the self-care course. I have 2 courses that you can enroll in. So the day 7 is your home, physical things and your home. And this is one main obstacle for a lot of people. And I will say that this is the entry point for majority of the people. The people that are trying minimalism, they are coming because they are feeling overwhelmed, because the physical things are in front of you. You can see them, you can measure them, you don't know what to do with them, and they are constantly affecting your mental health, your sanity, your relationships, how you work, your focus, everything. It's overwhelming, right? So they get started there and they try to do decluttering, but because they are, I have to go immediately. That's okay. I'm recording this and you can do the course clear. So guys, if you start from the decluttering aspect, from the physical things, but you don't do the becoming aware, you don't do the declaring your intentions, and you don't nurture your mental and physical health, and then you manage your time properly, you're gonna face the decluttering and you're gonna be overwhelmed, and you won't know what you really need, why you need it, when to do it, and then it's gonna be like a constant circle that you are gonna be stuck in. And this is what I see my clients facing, right, all the time. They are in that cycle of overwhelm and they don't know how to get out of it. And everything that they do other than trying to declutter physically, it seems to them that they are wasting time, that they shouldn't be doing that because they should declutter their space. But when you try to declutter the space, but you don't have a goal, you don't know why you are doing it, you don't know what's gonna happen after, you are not excited, you are not motivated, you are not clear, you are not confident, you start facing decisions, you don't know if you should let it go, if you should keep it. It's a recipe for disaster. Okay, so that's why that's day 7. Day 8, we talk about paper, because paper is another thing that it's a paper wall for so many people is so overwhelming, and paper on its own is a huge source of clutter and frustrations. So there is a full day just for paper. Then on day 9, I tackle the digital, okay, digital emails, phones, how you use technology, and how to set boundaries with technology. We do an awareness practice that day, and I share with you tips that I do around my home, around technology, to be able to manage it, to be able to use technology and get all the conveniences, but at the same time set a very strong intention so that we don't allow technology to take over our time and our intention, because that's what happens when we stop being intentional. Technology will distract us, and technology will just take us to places that we didn't decide to go there. So the only way that you can fight that is by being intentional. On day 10, I will talk about relationships. And this is a huge one, because guys, this is not a journey that you're going to be doing alone. Most likely you have family members, you have partners, children, housemates, workmates. Life happens in relationship with other people. So you need to have tools, you need to have awareness about the dynamics of those relationships, how they work, how you can be accountable to yourself and respect yourself and set healthy boundaries, set new dynamics, and clearly communicate what you need, say no, and still be loving and respectful to other people without letting their expectations weigh you down. So there are so many things that you need to learn about relationships and that we all need to kind of watch for. And Janine says, my spouse is a hoarder and it's overwhelming me. That's a clear sign that I will say, Janine, just from my own experience, don't say that my spouse is a hoarder. I will invite you to say, my spouse has hoarding tendencies. I went to some seminars about hoarding, and when you tell someone that they are a hoarder, you are putting a label on them and you are pretty much telling them that they cannot change. That's what they are. But that's not true, because so many people have hoarding tendencies right now, or they have had hoarding tendencies for the last 10-15 years. But that doesn't mean that they cannot change those tendencies, because they have hoarding tendencies because of specific reasons. Sometimes it goes really, really deep on the reasons why people have hoarding tendencies. But if they can change their mindset, if they are curious, if they are exposed to a different lifestyle that they enjoy more, and they are willing to try something new, all of a sudden they can believe that I can create new tendencies. But if you are telling them you are a hoarder, they will say, I am a hoarder. I cannot change what I am. Okay, it's the same thing. If you do something to me and I tell you, you are a stupid person, that's very different than saying, oh, what you did yesterday was very stupid. Because all the time you say, okay, I'm not stupid, I did something stupid, but I can change that and I will avoid doing something stupid in the future. So think about the words that you use and think about how you can find what that person needs to feel inspired to change. And maybe they don't want to change. And that's something that I'm talking about tomorrow, like how to give and receive healthy help. And I will share some of the steps that I have witnessed from people, and I will invite you to share whatever has worked for you. But in order for you to be able to help others, you have to be able to understand if they are ready, to respect where they are at and embrace whatever the reality they have right now. So there are so many things, guys, that we have to think about. So just to finish up, on day 11 we will be talking about work, because we all spend a lot of time working, and how to apply minimalism to your work. And I do a very cool exercise in there, a very cool practice, that is I invite you to create 3 new realities. And that's something that we do sometimes, and it really opens up your mind to new possibilities that before you couldn't even tap into. So thank you, Emilio. I never told him directly. That's good. Janine, this is not we all do the best we can. So I'm just sharing something that I learned, because I used to use that wording before too, and I wasn't aware of the impact that can have on people. So I'm just sharing that because I didn't know either a few years ago, and I became aware and I realized, wow, it is true. I don't want someone to tell me I'm an idiot. I would prefer them telling me what you did was something not very nice, but that doesn't define me. Okay, so hopefully you can find better ways of doing it. On day 12 I talk about money, personal finances. On day 13 I share ways to help yourself hold yourself accountable, because one of the main resistance that I see and that I face when I'm trying to make change is that deciding to make the change is easy, but actually doing it on a consistent basis is very difficult. So I share ways to be able to keep yourself accountable, to keep yourself motivated, and to keep yourself moving forward towards the goals that you set for yourself. Thank you so much for your donation, CJ. If you guys enjoyed this session, please, you can support my work by different ways of supporting my work. One, it's by making a donation if you can. 2, you can follow me and then you can listen to my audio tracks and leave a review with a text, something. So Insight Timer will reward me for that. And the best way you can support me, if it's not with a donation, is by sharing my content with others, of course, and by enrolling in my courses and engaging in the course classroom. Guys, that's the best way to support me financially on Insight Timer, because Insight Timer loves when you guys engage in the classroom, when you ask questions, when you share your experience about the day lesson, and then I get to support you, I get to share with you more, and every other person can also comment, can support you, can give you energy. So that's the best way that you guys can support me. So thank you so much for your support. And then the last day of the course, the day 14, is just a recap, and it's the maintenance. Okay, so once you have created all the changes in every area of your life, how can you maintain them? Okay, how can you make sure that the new habits and routines don't creep, the old habits and routines don't creep in, and that you are keeping doing what you know it's good for you, what you know you want to create, and start letting go of those old habits and routines. Thank you, Janine, for your donation, and BD. So that's a recap of the course that I created, and I put a lot of love and intention, and I really thought what was the right lineup, the right order to be able to guide people successfully through the journey. And this is what I have observed from all the people I have helped. So hopefully the order is good. Hopefully if you guys take the course, you find value. I always am open to honest feedback, because honest feedback helps me improve things. So if you notice anything you didn't like, anything that didn't seem right, anything that maybe the other, maybe a topic I didn't cover, or maybe something I covered that wasn't enough or didn't feel good to you, feel free to be completely honest, okay? And share that feedback with me, because that will help me improve, become a better person, and be able to communicate clearly to others the things that work and the things that don't, okay? Thank you, CJ. Thank you, Maggie. So do you guys have any questions before I go? Because today was all about minimalism and how to embrace minimalism in your life. And I felt inspired to create the course because so many people ask me, how can I do this? How can I do the minimalism? I'm stuck here. I'm feeling overwhelmed. And it's like, I always saw how people were able to make progress. And when I see someone stuck in the same spot, I would love to be able to open my mind and just transfer that to you, but I can't. So a course hopefully will help you, guide you through the process. Minimalism without losing your identity. CJ, that's a topic. Thank you, Shelly, for your donation. CJ, that's a topic that I covered on day 10, relationships. And that's something that is gonna happen, guys. I wanna be completely honest with you. So CJ says, minimalism without losing your identity. Just reflect, when you are making changes in your life, would you say that you are losing a part of yourself in the process? I would like you guys to answer this for me. When you are changing a habit or routine, when you are changing something in your life, will you say that you are letting go of a part of yourself that no longer serves you and you are creating something new? Yes or no? Yes, feels like it sometimes. Where can we see examples of your organizing papers? It was difficult to see. Organizing papers, actually on Friday is all about paper organization, guys. So Carol, if you can join me this Friday at 10 a.m., it's a session all about paper. And you can ask anything you want about paper, and I will have a lot of examples on how to organize papers, okay? But paper is on day 8 of the course. So if you enroll in the course, day 8 will be just about paper. So some people say, yes, it feels like it. Absolutely, guys. You will lose, reluctant to let go of the things I have loved or accomplished in my past. And I will invite you to CJ to say, why do you have to let them go? Things that you have loved or accomplished in the past, why do you have to let them go? When you are changing who you are, guys, you are creating a new identity for yourself. And you will see on lesson 10 that I give a very clear example of someone changing habits and what happens with one of their best friends. Because when you are changing who you are changing what you do, that has an impact on other people. Some other people, they may lose the old you that they enjoyed. And if they lose the old you that they enjoyed, and they don't understand the new you, or maybe they don't relate as much with it, they're gonna be upset. They're gonna be confused. They're gonna be like, what the hell happened here? Where is my friend? Like, I used to talk with my friend. I used to do this activity with my friend, and now I am not doing it. What happened, right? And that's why you have to be very verbal, very clear about communicating what you are doing, really sharing with all the people around you, the people that are important to you, really sharing why you are doing this, the reasons, the deep reasons, so that they can understand and they can hopefully support you. Some people will choose not to support you, and you have to be okay with it. You have to still respect them. You still have to love them. You have to protect yourself and create new dynamics and new healthy boundaries, okay? And hopefully in the long term, some people will come back and they will then understand what you are doing, but some people may require time. You may lose some people along the journey, and you will meet some new people along the journey. But this is something that can happen. So on day 10, I share all these things, right? And how to cope with them and how to be able to manage them. Downsizing to be realistic about the use of new space. Okay, CJ, that's great. If it boils down to you having this much space and this many things, then I will say you have to prioritize, right? You have to decide what stays and what goes. And that's a problem that many face. They have way too many things and they don't have enough storage space to store them. In that case, you have two options. One, you get a bigger place. And if that's not an option, you have to reduce the volume of things. How do you reduce the volume of things? By being intentional, prioritizing what's important in your life now, and you have to let go of other things. If you don't have space to store them, there is no other way around it, because physical things are physical things and they take so much space. And if you don't have as much space to store them, and you have way more things than storage space, you will always have clutter. That's just math. That's just volume. So it's either you optimize how you use your space, optimize how you use all the vertical space in all your closets. Again, this is something deeper that I will need to see pictures, I will need to see a video, I will need to see more information to be able to help you, that you are more than welcome to do, CJ. If you feel inspired, you can do a quick video of your apartment or house, or you can send me some photos and just send them to my email. Just type Emilio Jose Garcia on Google and you will find me very easily. Just share an email with me and share some photos there. I am very happy to then tell you from my experience what I see. Okay, so the invitation is open there. Any other questions, guys? You are welcome, CJ. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys go then. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I will see you tomorrow again at 10 a.m. This week it's gonna be 3 sessions with you guys. So tomorrow it's all about how to offer and receive healthy help and support. So that's something that a lot of people always ask. How can I help my husband? How can I help my wife? How can I help my mom? How can I help? And there are some specific things that need to happen in order for someone to be able to receive help, to be open for help. And it is not on your side to force them to change. That's another thing. Not everybody wants to change, even if you want to. Even if you want them to, because that's your expectation on them. And it's not what they want, it's what you want. And how fair is that? Okay? Different is when you are sharing spaces, and then clear communication needs to happen to be able to make sure that everybody feels well in the space. But I will talk about that tomorrow. So if you guys don't have any more questions, I am gonna go. Thank you, great advice. Thank you so much, Kat, for being here. Was nice to see you guys today. I don't see any more questions, so I'm gonna head out. Have some lunch. Thank you, BD. Okay, guys, have a wonderful Monday. I will see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Same place, same time, okay? Adios. Adios. Adios.